1:15 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Catherine Pereira and read by Geethanjali Ramanayaka. The headlines. The progress review on the discussion to provide the 5,000 rupee payment to the private sector employees has been submitted to the Cabinet. The number of COVID-infected patients in several hospitals has been increased. The health sector emphasized that there will be no side effect after obtaining the booster vaccine. An MOU signed between 8 state institutes to promote tourism investment. The chairman of the CEB resigns. Collecting information on the 15th census on population and houses is being carried out. Foreign news: British Prime Minister to face MPs in Commons as Grey report looms. News in detail now. Director of the Lady Ridgeway Hospital Specialist Dr. P. Vijaysurya says that at present the number of COVID-infected children at the hospital has been increased. He further said that the number of COVID patients reported before 2 weeks have been increased by 50%. The daily admission to the hospital has also been increased largely. Director of the IDH Hospital, Specialist Dr. Hasita Attanayaka, said that the number of admissions of COVID-infected persons at the IDH Hospital has been increased considerably. Director of the Colombo National Hospital, Specialist Dr. Kumara Wickramasinghe, has pointed out that it has been shown the number of daily admission of COVID-infected patients to the hospital has been increased. Our correspondents say that entire COVID-infected patients reported in the island has also increased. Therefore, the health sector requested the public to receive the booster vaccine for the completion of vaccines. The Chief Coordinator on COVID-19 at the Ministry of Health, Specialist Dr. Anwar Hamdani, said that there will be no side effect after receiving the booster vaccine. He said no clinical report has confirmed on any side effect regarding the booster vaccine. Participating in the Subharati program of the SLBC, he said, "It is sad to note false information spread on the vaccine. Currently, several variants of the COVID-19 are being spreading in the society. Booster vaccine is given to strengthen the immunity of the body. Therefore, he requests the people to obtain the booster vaccine without delay in order to minimize the death toll and admission to hospitals." The government has signed an MOU with 8 state institutions for the approval of tourist investment ventures. The signing ceremony in this regard was held in Colombo this morning. Minister Prasanna Rantunga and secretaries of relevant ministries participated at the ceremony. Director General of the Tourism Development Authority, Dhammika Vijayasinghe, said that the aim of this move is to prevent the unwanted delays in investing. The chairman of the Ceylon Electricity Board, MMC Ferdinando, has tendered his resignation to President Gotabaya Rajapaksa, citing personal reasons. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Planning on registration and collecting information on the 15th on census of population and houses is being implemented these days. This information will be collected through the use of computers, but the mapping out of this program has not been completed yet. The information will be collected from the end of this year to the April of next year. The last registration in this regard was carried out in the year 2012. The census program was to be conducted last year, but the Department of Census said that it was delayed due to the COVID pandemic. The Joint Council for Professions of Supplementary Medicine launched a strike action at 7 a.m. today at all hospitals within the limits of the Western Province. Its chairperson, Ravi Kumudesh, said the trade union action was initiated in protest of the non-intervention of authorities to resolve issues pertaining to salary anomalies in supplementary medical service, paramedical service and nursing service. They have already carried out a total of 8 trade union actions at provincial level to demand solutions for the salary disparities and administrative issues in the supplementary medical service, nursing service and paramedical service, he said further. Speaking further, Kumudesh said they expect the Ministry of Health and the government to intervene to provide fair solutions for these issues. And that ends local news for now, and the main news story follows.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalopa Vedamahatmya.
Commissioner General of Labour Prabhat Chandrakirti says that the progress review on the discussion held regarding the provision of 5,000 rupees payment to the private sector, which was given to the state employees by the government, has been directed to the cabinet. The relevant trade unions have conducted several rounds of discussions with the owners of the private institutions and the estate owners. The discussions were held under the patronage of Minister Nimal Siripala de Silva, and that was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
In Watchlight, the consumers are facing many difficulties due to the various price hikes in bakery products at restaurants in Mathura town. A large number of people are visiting the town, and most of them are students who are attending tuition classes and are facing many difficulties due to this reason. This is for the attention of the Consumer Affairs Authority, and that came to you in Watchlight.
Coming up, World News.
In the headlines, British Prime Minister to face MPs in Commons as grey report looms. The US President says US could sanction Putin if Russia invades. Scientists take aim at Omicron. World news in detail now. Boris Johnson faces more questions about number 10 parties from MPs later as a result of an internal inquiry into possible lockdowns breaches are due. It is understood the highly anticipated report by senior official Sue Gray is largely complete and could be published as early as today. But it is not expected to be revealed ahead of Prime Minister's questions at noon. It comes after the Met Police announced its own investigation yesterday. Commissioner Cressida Dick said the force was looking into potential breaches of COVID laws at a number of events in government buildings since 2020. US President Joe Biden says he would consider personal sanctions on Vladimir Putin if Russia invades Ukraine. Mr. Biden said there would be enormous consequences for the world if Russia made a move on the nation which sits on its southwestern border. His comments came as other Western leaders repeated warnings that Russia would pay a heavy price for invasion. Russia has accused the US and others of escalating tensions over the issue and denies its plans to enter Ukraine. However, Moscow has built up troops at the border with some 100,000 Russian soldiers deployed in the region. Scientists saw the coronavirus Omicron variant sweep across the world at a pace that was unprecedented. Yesterday, drug maker Pfizer and BioNTech announced a clinical trial of a vaccine adapted to target the strain. The scientists will enroll more than 1,400 adults aged 18 to 55. They will evaluate how the vaccine performs in people who have already received 2 or 3 doses. They will also test the shots in those who have not been vaccinated. Officials at the World Health Organization have said the current Pfizer vaccine protects people exposed to the Omicron from severe disease and hospitalization. Back to the headlines of the world news. British Prime Minister to face MPs in Commons as grey report looms. US President says US could sanction Putin if Russia invades. Scientists take aim at Omicron. And that ends world news.
Development News is brought to you by Let's take all out of the coconut tree and make the island thriving and prosperous. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
The Department of National Botanic Garden, which is functioning under the Ministry of Tourism, has implemented a program to develop national flora cultivation. Tourism Minister Prasanna Rantunga said that the objective of this move is to enhance the living condition of the rural people who are engaged in the flora cultivation field. And that was Development News.
Development News was brought to you by the coconut tree is well grown in almost all the parts of the island. It is an exceptional source of extra income. The shell, the husk and almost all the parts of the coconut tree makes you money, providing you with an excellent extra source of income. It will also help to nourish the economy of the country. You will be guided with all necessary informations regarding the coconut cultivation, with the novel cultivation techniques and all other related and upgraded informations by the Coconut Research Institute, Lunavilla. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
In sports news, first football, the Navy Football Club, popularly known as Seahawks, became the runner-up for the first time in the Super League 2021, the football championship held from April 2021 to January 2022. Seahawks played 9 games and won 6 out of them. They managed to draw another encounter and were defeated only in 2 games. Cricket news, the ICC Under-19 Men's Cricket World Cup Super League stage will commence today, while Group A winners England will take on South Africa, who was placed second in Group B in the first quarter-final in Sir Vivian Richards Cricket Stadium in Antigua. Both Sri Lanka and Afghanistan will meet each other in their quarter-final tomorrow at Coolidge Cricket Ground, Antigua. And that is sports news.
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Business news sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The electronic and electrical sector has recorded a 30% increase in its export earnings compared to $328 million recorded last year despite COVID pandemic challenges. With the support extended by the Sri Lanka Export Development Board, the industry has shown its knowledge, expertise, competitiveness and resilience in 2021 to achieve the highest export revenue recorded in history despite COVID pandemic challenges. The sector is ambitious to reach $1 billion export target by 2025. And that was business news.
Business news sponsored by
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Economic news, courtesy of...
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
People's Leasing and Finance Company has signed an MOU with Indra Traders Private Company, distributors and importers of vehicles in the country. They signed an MOU to promote a special business program. According to the MOU, these 2 companies are providing special benefits to their consumers of all their branches. And that was economic news.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
The weather report.
The Met Department says that except for a few showers at some places in the Sabaragama province and in the Kaltura district, mainly fair weather will prevail over the island. Misty conditions can be expected at some places in the central, Sabaragama, north central and Uva provinces and in the Gaul and Mathura districts during the morning. That was the weather report, and to end this news broadcast, back to the headlines. The progress review on the discussion to provide 5,000 rupee payment to the private sector employees has been submitted to the Cabinet. The number of COVID-infected patients in several hospitals has increased. The health sector emphasized that there will be no side effect after obtaining the booster vaccine. An MOU signed between 8 state institutes to promote tourism investment. The chairman of the CEB resigns. Collecting information on the 15th census on population and houses is being carried out. Foreign news, British Prime Minister to face MPs in Commons as Grey report looms. And that concludes this news broadcast from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.